Hello everybody and welcome to Lust Part 3. Now I would recommend you go and watch Part 1 and Part 2 first before seeing this video. However, if you don't feel like it, each video could also stand alone. So you could also just watch this one and then if you're interested, watch the other ones. So it's the last day of a holiday in Brussels and I've just experienced an episode in the underground which made me very, very horny. I then had dinner with a very good friend and then went on to take my night train back to Berlin. It's about 10 hours journey. I didn't have a reservation yet for a sleeping compartment, so I tried to get one on the train. Unfortunately, there were none left, so all I got was a kind of closed, seated compartment for 6 people. When I entered the compartment, I found a young Asian boy who didn't seem to speak any English, a rather reserved, probably either Belgian or Frenchman, somewhere between 30 and 40 years old, reading a book, and a big, fat, white South African. He was quite drunk and he was pestering even the ticket controller, who was a woman when she came in, and making all kinds of sexist remarks and being really kind of rowdy. And he had a big bottle of whiskey cola he'd mixed before in a big Coke bottle and was drinking this. At some point 2 other people came in who thought they had a reservation. Maybe they did actually have a reservation, I don't know, but he basically chucked them out. Had a kind of argument with the man, it was a couple, and he was really aggressive. Now he was amused by me, one because I didn't seem to be afraid of him, which he also even said, it's good you're not afraid of me. And because I joined him in drinking his whiskey and coke, and I spoke Flemish and English, and he spoke English and Afrikaans. Even though Flemish or Dutch and Afrikaans are not the same languages, we can understand each other. So we were having fun with that. Now initially he was also making comments about the Asian boy who probably could understand more English than he was letting on. I could see he was getting very uncomfortable, so I was trying to distract from him by asking the South African more personal questions. And quite soon he started to tell me his wife had died, how he had kids, how his business was going down the drain. The ticket collector then told us there were no more people getting on the train that night, and one of the compartments in our wagon was still free. So the 2 of us decided to move to that one. That way all of us could lie down, because you had 3-seater benches each time, 2 3-seater benches. Once we'd moved to this compartment, I found out even more about his past. It turned out his parents had been Austrian fascists who fled to South Africa after the Second World War, and the whole house he grew up in was covered with photos of his parents and high-ranking SS officers. He had also been in the South African army during the apartheid regime and killed lots of innocent black people. The thing was, if everyone in your environment believes a certain thing, and your mummy and daddy from a very early age teach you to think a certain way, well, some people manage to break away from this, but it's a lot harder than if you grow up in a liberal, open-minded environment. And he knew now that most of what he'd done in his life was wrong. This man was really nothing anymore but one big bunch of misery. His past was a mess. His present was a mess, and I was really beginning to feel quite sorry for him, when all of a sudden he asked me what would I think if Prince Philip of Belgium were bisexual. I said, well, I think if he's bisexual he should just be open about it and honest about it, and good for him, why not? He said, yeah. I think bisexuals get the best of both sides. Think about it, you get the women and you get the men. And I said, yeah, no, I mean, I'm absolutely fine with that. I mean, to be honest, actually I'm gay myself. I said, ooh, really? Actually, me too, but I have to go and pee now. He went out and went to the toilet. He came back and all of a sudden there was a complete change in atmosphere, and he went, you made a little mistake, didn't you?
You shouldn't have told me your little secret.